This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome to Good Morning Uganda Extra in the Pearl of Africa. Now, anytime it may rain. Well, if you moved in some place when it is typically looking as a hot day, don't forget we are in our final rainy season because you have two rainy seasons in the Pearl of Africa, gifted by nature. Now, we are in the August to December. Anytime it rains, don't get shocked. So be ready for anything. I'm Robert Chirabo Nyonyitono, and this morning I have a very interesting guest and handling a very interesting topic. Have you ever heard of overseas boarding school expo? Have you ever heard of that? That where there are opportunities for you to go to an expo where you're going to see schools in the UK that will be able to take on your children as a parent. Well, this is going to be happening today at the Kampala Serena from 6 beyond. You can have an opportunity to get to know how can you, which are the schools that are available. But why bother with all this? I have the lady herself, and that is Clinton Rona, who happens to be the founder and managing director of Academic Families. You're most welcome.
Thank you, Robert. I feel very welcome.
Indeed. Now, let's begin. When we talk about the Academic Families, you're a founder and managing director. What is this all about?
Well, many years ago, I lived in Mombasa in Kenya, and when I left and went back to the UK, many people asked, how do I find the best school? I want to send my child to the UK at some point. And we started 11 years ago. We started supporting families to find the best school in the UK for their child. But more than that, they then asked me, will you look after, can you support our child? And so we provide guardianship. And so we do everything to support families who come to the UK.
Now, when we talk about families coming to the UK, there are a number of challenges. One, from the financial bit of it. Now, there are a lot of things like accommodation, when a child is away from home, issues of discipline. Are all these embedded in what Academic Families do?
Yes, we support the children and also the families. The children behave, East African children are very popular in the UK. They have very good academic record. They like to get out and to do things. They're good mixers, good socializers and leaders. And but we support them with their academic journey and as well as their holistic journey, their other activities. If there are issues that parents don't understand with schools, then we are the liaison. We're always working for the parents. We're not on the side of the school. We're on your side, and we make sure that everything is smooth.
Now, today's event, first paint a picture of what is going to be happening today.
Well, today we've got a number of schools, UK boarding schools, that have come out to Kampala because the schools like East African students, and so they want to explain to parents what the curriculum is like, what the extracurricular activities, and how their children might be in East Africa to education in the UK. And also my team will be here on hand to support families to understand what is the best option and how do you find the best school. It might be one of the schools that are here today, but it's schools in the UK, and there will be some great schools for every child.
Now, you talked about this school may not be that best for your child. For us, we know that once a child is there, well, and they come back, my child is studying in the UK, they're in the best education. Most of it is the system we are following here, the UK-based curriculum, though we've tried to make our changes, and we have the international schools, but you'll find that still, being once a colony of, and a member of the Commonwealth, there is still so much connection. So what is that I shouldn't just take my child to any school in the UK?
Well, I think all of us who have more than one child will know that our children are all different. So it is to find that best school for your child. Maybe your child is very sporty. Maybe they're very musical. Maybe they haven't had the opportunity to do what they wanted to do, or already you know that they are an excellent athlete or or a physicist. That has horse riding or a tennis academy or a rugby academy or swimming, whatever it is that they're looking for, and we can find the right one. Also, in the UK, we have several different curriculum that that you can study. So you can narrow down with A levels with 3 subjects for your university entrance, or you can continue with international baccalaureate, or you can have BTECs, which are more exams if you want continuous assessment. So there are different types of school, and all of them are excellent, but it's just to get the right one for the character and the aspirations of your child.
Very interesting, and of course this is happening today at this arena where parents are going to get to know. So you talked about UK schools that are going to be available. How many of these, and if you're to look at our system, if these children have been studying already, that you're looking at and targeting, or is it any level?
Well, it depends on the parents really, and mums often, when they're able to they want their children to go away. But basically the last 2 years of school, so it's 16 preparation, your exams, or 4 years, which would be IGCSEs and your A levels or IB, or sometimes people will come at 12, at 13. It depends on the age when you want to come. But there are different natural entry points, and you can come whenever. The longer you come, the greater benefit. But not every family is in that situation.
Now let's look at curriculum, syllabus. How is this adjustment? Because we have children that have been here in international schools, and those we here have a connection. Now we are talking of those that have been in our normal curriculum and they haven't been exposed to this international curriculum. Now them traveling there, how easy is it for them to blend? How easy is it for them to be able to catch up with that particular syllabus?
Well, if they want to come and they are want to learn in the new style and they are open, then they will soak it up, the new style. There is not a problem. Obviously, the longer they have to learn, then the better. But that's up to the families. But remember, it's not just academics. It is about that holistic education. It is about developing their character, their leadership, their volunteering, all their sports, their arts, their music, their drama. It's all those things. And I have witnessed firsthand your traffic in Kampala. If you think if a child is spending 1 hour to go to school, 1 hour to come home every day, that's 10 hours a week. If you live on campus, then that's 10 hours that you will be pursuing interests of your own, character building, and developing your passions and your expertise. So they're getting so much more than the classroom, and that is very important. That's a major part of what the education, the difference in the education is.
Well, still looking at education and now opportunities in the UK, boarding opportunities in the UK. Now here you're targeting Ugandan parents, so they can take. Now also briefly tell us, is this a free thing? Is it about a contribution? Also, what is entailed in this process? Okay.
Well, it does involve a contribution, and a sizable contribution, so it's not for everybody. And boarding school fees are about 35 to 40,000 pounds a year, and that includes the schooling, the education fees, and it includes the boarding, the living. Then, of course, you have flights on top of that, and a visa, whatever, and supporting them. And of course, you will go over to visit them, but is definitely at the very top end for some very fortunate children. We offer, there is a guardianship program as well, which is where we look after children. I think I was saying to you earlier, Robert, it's a little bit like having your sister in the UK. Everything you would ask your sister to do when your child is in the UK, we will provide that support as well. And but it's important to remember we're your big sister, and we will actually tell you what needs to be done as well. We'll keep you right. And so any issues with school transfer from the airport to school, weekends when they're not in school, they want to go out, we look after them all of the time.
Well, that is very interesting. Now, you said the UK is so much interested in children from the East African community. Why particular these children?
Oh, my goodness. I don't know why you need to ask. You've got fabulous children. Focused, and they are great fun. They can talk to everybody. They can talk to Totos, they can talk to Mzes, they can talk to everybody. And the schools in the UK really like East African children because you fit in very well and you're good fun. You're good, and so that's why they want to that's why the schools are out here looking for your children.
Okay, in terms of competency, and for you, this has been academic family has been around for some time. Now let's look at what has been the performance of previous students that have left Uganda and have joined the UK education system. How are they performing? Are they competing? Are they surviving, or are they thriving?
They're thriving. They're doing very, very well. They at a variety of schools that they go to, and then we've had a number now who have come through school and have now continued on to university, and they go on to Russell Group universities. So they go to the top tier universities in the UK. We also UK education will take you. It's a pathway to British universities, but it's a pathway to top universities all over the world, and so many can go. You can go anywhere with your qualifications.
Now, this is a bit hard, but it's a truth. The fact is, we've seen many Ugandan children, most running for education outside Uganda. Reasons best known to them. But one of the things that we are facing currently is value for money. We pay exorbitantly for education in Uganda. And then the return in investment may not actually be the same. Children go through school, they are not employable, they don't have values, and a lot of things. They don't have, worst is skills. Yet they have the qualification. Why is value for money in this program? Because I know it's very expensive to educate a child outside Uganda, and more so in the UK. So where is value for money? Is there a return?
Well, as a parent, I think we all work very hard to give our children the best opportunities that we can. And so that is a parent's choice to make. However, I would say that children, and in East Africa, we've been longer with Kenya, and we see the children coming back. And so if your child has gone outside, they've got a good broad education, they've gone on to a good university, and also when they go to university, they've now got they've got friends, they've got a whole network of support, and they thrive in university more so than children coming direct to university. They will do very well. They all, regardless of your passport, you will get a 2-year post-study work visa after university. They will get some brilliant work experience, and then many will come back. And you have global outward-looking citizens who are coming to come back to Uganda to develop your country. And they can talk to everybody again because they've got that international, multinational network that they have developed on their way up. I think that's fantastic value for money for a country.
What has been the response to this here in Uganda? You talked of Kenya, where it's been a success. Tell us briefly about Uganda's story as far as responding to this education Expo, where we have Ugandan children. Just in case you've just joined, it is going to be running today at Serena Hotel, where they are going to be having an education expo of overseas boarding schools in the UK. So what has been our previous response?
The response is very positive, and they value the fact that there is a choice. And it's not just looking at the schools that are here, but it is further than that. It is looking at, we are able to support with all the schools that in the UK and advise parents on the best school. Ugandans are, I think they're relieved. I think they're delighted to know that, that there is support out there, that we will help you to make the right choices, because it's your child. You know, it's their future, it's their education. And as any parent, I'm a mother, I've done the same myself. I've sent my children overseas. It has to be right. You need to know that you're doing the right thing as a parent. And I think that's when they see that we are mums as well, and we've done it as well, then I think that is very reassuring for families. We're highly qualified, so we have our expertise and our professional qualifications, as well as our personal experience. Many of us have lived in East Africa, and we're able to, we can empathise, we understand.
Now, there is also another issue as we look at sending children overseas for education in the UK, which the academic families is something that they have done for a certain period, and they are saying we are here in Uganda again for parents, those that can manage or can afford or are willing to have their children go abroad. Now, element of discipline. We are Africans. We have our values that we treasure so very much. But also, we have our culture. Now, many parents, because we want to look at some of those deterring factors, well, they'll tell you, you will have good paperwork, but how do you ensure that certain things that maybe are not for us, we do not erode, we do not have a group of very learned people who study in the best universities in the UK, but when it comes to our principles and what we value, and some that we've stood against as a nation, they are eroded in them.
So that's where the choice of school is fundamental. We have, we believe, we understand the values that parents have in Uganda, that people have in children. Well, but also parents have to we bring up our children with our values, but our children evolve as well. But it's we have a lot of faith schools, we have a lot of Christian schools in the UK. And so if that's important to a parent, then these are the schools that we will recommend that you look at, that you consider. And so you continue with that, with the faith, but with the values that you hold very dear and that your children are brought up with. Because for a start, the children will feel very comfortable in that school where they have the same values. And and we will support families if there are any issues. I don't think there really are. I think the children move easily to the right school.
Well, we are still handling and discussing issues of education opportunities overseas, and it is the boarding schools expo that is kicking off today night at the Sheraton Hotel in Kampala, and we look at how best your children can be able to enjoy. For a short break, I'll be returning soon. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Amazina nabanyeta Ndyamuba Amon Sarongo kandi nanye nuko kweyeta chairman w'abantu abino burema ahabwa Rushenyi PWD Emyoga Sako.
My name is Nyamuba Amon Salongo, and I serve as the chairman of PWD Emyoga Sako in Rushenyi constituency. As individuals with disabilities, we have greatly benefited from the support we received in the form of 30 million Ugandan shillings seed capital. Despite facing challenges, the impact has been immense. Our SACCO consists of 211 members, and we have utilized the opportunity to engage in goat rearing. By taking advantage of the low interest rates provided, we have been able to purchase goats. While some members have faced difficulties, this initiative has proven beneficial overall. Additionally, we were later which we put to good use. This financial support has played a significant role in the progress of each and every SACCO member. Through these initiatives, we active efforts.
I got it. What do you mean you got it? Let me see. But these are URA receipts now.
Yes, exactly my point. See, I had tax areas that had accumulated for a while now, and I was burdened by the penalties and the interest, but guess yes.
How? I mean, it's impossible.
It is possible. The government has done it. Yes, the government has given a chance to all taxpayers to pay their outstanding principal tax that accrued until 30th of June with no interest or penalties.
But now they're really
Imagine, yes! So yeah, all you have to do is simply pay your principal tax and enjoy the waiver on penalties and interest. And this goes up to the end of December 2023.
How do I do that to also enjoy the waiver?
To benefit from waiver on interests and penalties that runs till end of December 2023. Pay your outstanding principal tax using the available payment channels or simply dial *28 guidance before 31st December 2023. Remember, this chance comes only once.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from that short break. Thank you so much for being with us here on UBC TV. I'm Robert Chiravo Nyonyitono, and with me is Rona Clington, who happens to be the founder and managing director of Academic Families. Now, today we'll be having, that is at the Sheraton Hotel, we'll be having the Education Overseas School Expo. That is the Overseas School Boarding, actually, Expo. That is where you're going to be able to interact with a number of schools in the United Kingdom that are here in Uganda, for Ugandan parents to understand the various opportunities that they have there. You can have your child study in the United Kingdom even when you're here. So you get to know and understand how this is going to be done, how you can be part of this, how it's easy and effective for you. So that is so much that is going to be happening there from 6 p.m. today evening. Now, coming back to you, we've looked at the values, we've looked at the cost of it. Now we want to also, do we have some successful stories to tell? Or is it a new thing that has not been here for some time?
We have some successful stories. The successful stories are primarily Ugandan students progressing on to top universities. We'll need a few more years with our Ugandan students for the success to come back once they have graduated and possibly use their 2-year work visa and then return to Uganda. But their success is that they're safe, they're happy, they're successful, they're doing what they want to do, their families are very comfortable, they're very pleased, and they know that their students are growing up well in the values and in the manner that they want them to grow up.
Now, you've talked about successful stories, then you mentioned a 2-year working visa. So this is after university,
Yes.
they're given 2 years to work in the UK.
Yes. So the UK visa system is excellent. You will apply as a when you go to boarding school. You have a child student visa, which is quite straightforward, and the school sponsors the student, and they get that. Is quite straightforward, and then on graduation they have a few months after they have finished their degree, and then in the October-November they apply for a 2-year work visa. And the great thing is that visa belongs to them. So they can work anywhere. They could volunteer actually if they wanted, but they could work in the top management consultancy firm or any position anywhere, and so they don't need to be sponsored by an employer, and so that makes them very attractive, and so they have 2 years.
Great, having some experience there. Now, every parent, maybe, I want to use the word maybe, would love to partake of this opportunity, but cost effectiveness. I mean, is this, have you come to target high-end families?
I don't think you're an ordinary Ugandan.
Oh,
Robert.
I don't.
Yes, the sad thing is, yes, it is very expensive. 35 to 40,000 pounds a year for the boarding fees. It is for people with money. Currently, they may be considering continuing education in Uganda. They may be looking at Kenya. They may be looking at other places. Talk to us and understand how you can access some excellent boarding education in the UK. But yes, you have to be able to afford it, and it is not cheap. It's not cheap for anybody, but where you go to university, then if you're an international student, you have to pay higher fees as an international student. However, at boarding school, everybody pays the same fees. It doesn't matter whether you're British or any other nationality. It's still expensive.
Still expensive. Of course, someone said if you think education is expensive, then try the other thing. I don't want to sound, but sometimes it's all about sacrifice in most of the things, and getting priorities right. If you feel the best, the top-notch priority for your child is studying in the UK, then here it is. If you feel you can walk that lane, then definitely today it is at Sheraton, where you'll be getting to know more information regarding the Overseas Boarding School Expo that will be happening. Now, Lorna, let's also take a look at adjusting, fitting in. These are two different worlds. Yes, two different worlds. Some child has been in Uganda maybe for all their life, and now they're shifting and moving into education. How quick is this?
Okay. Well, Robert, you have to remember that the boarding school that they're going to, first of all, we've matched them, so it's a really great fit for them. And secondly, the school really wants them to come. They really want them to add diversity, to add all their skills, their leadership, their sociability, everything. And the school will start off, they know that they have children from many cultures and many countries that are coming, because a boarding school in the UK is not just the British students and Ugandans or East Africans. They're students from many countries, Europe, all over Europe, China, West Africa, a lot from Ghana and Nigeria as well. Lots of other countries that their students will be coming from. But the schools, they've been doing this a long time. They're very good at it, and they will make a huge effort. They have a very busy program. I think, if anything, the complaint that parents have is, I never get a chance to speak to my child. They're so busy. They're having so much fun. They're doing things. And that's what happens, especially at the beginning. They're kept very, very busy, trying everything, trying all the new activities, so that they fit in and they find what they're good at, what they enjoy, and they make friends. They're in a boarding house. It's one big sleepover. They make lots of new friends, and they're all wanting to be busy together and to make new friends. So they fit in very easily. And remember, as I said at the beginning, your children are very good. They're very sociable. They're very able to get on and talk to people. So they fit in. They fit in. The weather is one thing that people will ask us about. It's about wearing more layers. In the same way that I wear less layers when I come to East Africa, then you wear more there. You keep warm, but the children, nobody ever complains about the weather. The food is good in the schools. It has to be very good, and the rooms are good. The accommodation, the children fit in. Everybody can feel a little bit of homesick. We recommend to parents, if your child is feeling homesick, talk to them. Talk to them. We'll help them, and they just need to focus on being busy, on finding the things, remembering why they're there. And the homesickness passes very quickly with everybody. And it's not just Ugandans, it's everybody, even British children when they go to boarding school. They just think, oh, it's different, I'm not at home. And then they very quickly, they get caught up in their life and their friends are always there. All the activities are always there. There's lots to do.
Now, another important thing is feedback. Parent-child interaction. Yes, there could be a big sister somewhere, but how do you ensure that this is done effectively?
Well, communication is very easy now. We're all on WhatsApp, so you can speak to your child all of the time, and they will have time at school. We'll encourage them to talk to parents because it's so important, so you can have as regular contact as you want. Maybe even the same if your child's at school all day here. You know, maybe you're only talking in the evening anyway, and maybe you're there doing their homework and dinner and whatever. So actually, it's possibly not that different, but you can speak to them whenever you want.
That is also very interesting, because we know we do not want our children to go there, and because of lack of effective, but I think also a parent in this category can once in a while, I want to believe that a person who can cough or give this amount then still may have opportunities there. Now, still looking, our viewers are still School Expo that is going to be kicking off today at Sheraton Hotel at 6. Please find some time, go there, get to know. Let's not lose hope. You never know. Today you may not be able, but the following years to come, maybe you're able. And you're looking at such an opportunity, because we've seen so many people doing all it takes to take their children, but then there is choice of school among other things. So the experts are there today to guide you, to have that in-depth analysis of your child and what suits them best, what school suits them best, for them to ensure they realize their full potential. And that is why I'm with Lana this morning, and that is what we are focusing on. Now, you talked about 3 or 4 different schools in the UK that handle specifically is it the parent is given information? Do you interview the child? How do you arrive to say that maybe this one is good in music? Because for us, we don't have that here.
No.
A teacher will tell you maybe, but we do not have that in our system. We only focus so much on what is examinable. Yes.
Well, we ask parents to complete a registration process, of course. And then once we have the basic information, including the last 2 school reports, and that gives us an overview of the academics. And then we want to understand what the parent's objective is and what their budget is. And so once we understand that, then we focus on the children. And we can't do all of this in this evening, but we do all of this on Zoom. And we will have as many meetings as we all want to understand who your child is. Are they quiet? Are they really bubbly? Are they studious? Are they sporty? What do they do? But also, what do they think they might that they really love yet, or they have and they want to do more. And then we will research. There are over 450 top boarding schools in the UK. We will then do the legwork for you, and we will come back and say these are 5 schools that we recommend would be a good fit. We give you all the information. If you are able to come over, we will set up a visit for you to go around all the schools. And our recommendation is always, if your child, when they see, I could be here, this is me, then that's the school for them, the fit. All of the schools have strong academics, and the academics are appropriate to your child. as well. And there's no point putting a very top student in a medium school and vice versa. And we support all the way to find that match. We will provide the guardianship, all the support that you need, everything from picking them up at the airport, meeting them at the plane door, taking them through Heathrow if that's a worry, arranging them back to school, getting them to school, finding a family if they're on holidays, if you can't come over for short holidays. We have families that they can stay with and friends. So we manage all of that. But it's a journey. It's a journey with the parents to find that right school. Sometimes that journey, people change their mind what they're looking for when they realise what all is there. We help you.
Those complications, you have assured our viewers that you handle them. Now, time seems to be moving very fast. But what is very important is that they are now opportunities where you get to understand and know what best suits that child. Let me have your concluding remarks.
Your children are great. British schools love your children, and we are here to help you find that best school for your child, to let them grow in to be a successful global citizen and to do the best that they can do. So please come and visit us, understand that you can access the top British education and make your child safe, happy and very successful. Thank you.
Maybe I have a quick one. Sorry, I've just seen it sent in. Someone says the biggest change has been issues of paperwork. How quick and how possible, or how do they help in that area?
Well, we will manage all the admissions process for you. We recommend 18 months to 2 years, but of course we know that in advance to find the right school. But of course, in June we were helping people find schools for September, so we can do all that. The thing that needs to be done after you have found the school and you are registered, of course you have to apply for the visa, and that will take time. But we will support with that as well.
That is where most Ugandans, of course, now the visa issue becomes another big problem. Some may have issues regarding getting that visa, but the good thing is, you said booking the school and all that, that is entirely on you.
Yes, but the school will issue a CAS. It's the evidence that they are supporting the application for the visa. So you have to show the the evidence that you have the ability to pay that first year's boarding school fees and complete the application. And on the whole, the students, their visa applications go through they're straightforward. We can also assist if parents are looking for visas. That's a different situation, but the school children, it is straightforward. And if you are unable to come with your child because you haven't managed to get a visa, then don't panic, because we're here. And we will look after your child when they arrive and settle them in and do all their shopping with them that you need to do. We will do all of that. But I'm sure everybody will get their visas. I'm sure that will be fine.
Well, thank you so much. Clinton Lona, who happens to be the founder and managing director of Academic Families. And of course, we've been looking at opportunities in the UK to have Ugandan students go and study there. And today, the 25th of September at that is Sheraton Hotel, there will be an expo that is of Overseas Boarding Schools Expo. Please go and just take a look. Go and get to know what really happens. And if you are among the bracket that can't afford, well, knowledge is power, expand your tentacles, have the opportunity, give your children this opportunity to go and study, because there is so much advantage that happens there. Well, see you tomorrow. Have a lovely day. God bless you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning